Hello, I'm Dr. Lulie Melling from Sarawak, and I'm actually the Global Tropical Peatland expert. So I'm here to try to level up the study skills, whereby I'm trying to answer the questions that has been sent for the podcast. So the question is, in your opinion, what indicators can students use to determine if their strength lie in STEM fields or within the arts and humanities? In the era that we are in, whereby we are saying like people like to use it called the AI and the fourth generation of the industry, science literacy is the language of survival. So as much as possible, we should try and push the students to do science at least until they're Form 5, and even better until they are Form 6. And then you decide whether to pursue science or humanities. So that will give them a better logical thinking in whatever they do. That will give them a better choice because they'll be more mature. The mathematics is compulsory until Form 5. That either they do general science or pure science. But as much as possible, the general science minimum mesti sampai tingkatan 5 lah. The next question is from Atika from Kuching. Should I study for knowledge or for passing exams only? Is there a difference? Oh yes, there is a difference. A has a limit. Knowledge has no limit. You go after the knowledge, the A will automatically follow you. And when you go after knowledge, it is like you will understand what about the subject better. And then that will make you wise, more wise than you just menghafal to pass an exam. Apakah cara untuk memperbaiki mata pelajaran yang telah gagal berkali-kali? Kalau kamu gagal berkali-kali, bermakna teknik kamu salah. So you have to find the right technique. So it's a matter of practice. So it depends on what subject. So that means that you don't just menghafal membabi buta because it's difficult to lulus. So you buat mind mapping kan. So you draw out, you must write, read and write. You don't just membaca. Like mathematics, no way you can membaca, you need to practice. Dan cara supaya tidak mengantuk di kelas adalah satu lagi soalan. Adalah penting you must have enough sleep. Because sleeping is power to the energy. You see, you must have a rest. And then the other thing is that you must drink water. Because if you don't have enough water, you will mengantuk. That when you feel mengantuk nak belajar, kan, you must drink enough water, which will automatically bring you to the toilet, and at the same time cuci muka. Tapi the interesting part, a lot of Muslim don't realize the fact that kan you sembahyang 5 kali sehari. That sembahyang is actually to keep you alert, When you study kan, you have to stop ikut your sembahyang time, that keep you alert, and bila you sembahyang balik, mana ada mengantuk, tak mengantuk. Then bila you minum air, jangan minum air manis. Minum air biasa, okay? Because air manis actually will make you lebih mengantuk. Avoid all those gassy drinks and coffee because they are just temporary stimulant. But you can take Milo, not 3-in-1. Just the ordinary Milo, you just bancho. So generally, you are encouraged to drink at least 2 glasses of water when you wake up in the morning. Before you take your shower, 2 glasses of water before you sleep, and then in between that, at least minimum 4 glasses of water. Now, the next question is from Rijeng Jahid. How can parents develop an early interest among primary school kids in science and maths? You need to energize your kids with reading and exploration, such as going for picnic, and then during the journey, you talk about the weather, about how it rains, simple things, why the water flows, about the mountains, about the birds, the animals, or how to keep your pets alive is part of science, Nowadays, parents only bring their children to shopping mall. There's not much science in shopping mall. There's more science in going for picnics, going for hikings. Yes, the nature will never go wrong because at the same time, the children have the chance to run and get themselves energized. And actually, it's also cheap for the parents too. When you go for picnic, you bawa nasi goreng dari rumah. You bawa lauk, or you can even bring raw food, and you can just do barbecue, and then you just bring plain water, warm water. Jackie daripada Beaufort, Sabah. Cadangan pemakanan kos rendah yang baik untuk optimumkan pembelajaran. Saya bukan dari keluarga berada. God gave us the whole world. The best protein, the cheapest protein that any children should be able to have access is eggs. You should encourage the children every day. You should give them the half-boiled egg because you need the folic acid in the egg yolk for the brain development, And then at the same time, you also, as they grow older, give them soft-boiled egg. Soft-boiled egg means the egg yolk is still soft and the white is hard, because that is a very good energy food. Sebab I pernah introduce dulu in my organisation, budak dari Igan, dari Serike, dari Oyak, diorang dari kampung, budak dari kampung, diorang science student, diorang datang I punya pejabat, they start to work with us. I buat 3 tray telur dekat pejabat to make sure they keep on trying to eat the eggs. Lepas 3 bulan, you can see the facial expression lain. You cannot concentrate. So because they need to do experiment in the field to reduce the error, I need to make sure that they are properly eat the correct food. And actually, 2 of them resigned from my place and join the medical training school untuk pembantu medical kan. Both of them became top student. Because they got the right nutrition, they got the right energy, and then they got the right technique on how to study. So you need to make sure there's enough protein and enough carbohydrate. So like ikan keli is also a very good source of omega for the brain. And then pisang. Pisang is very good energy food, and it's cheap, you boleh tanam kan dekat kampung. And then ubi keledek. Anything that you plant below ground, the mineral content of the food is very high. So ubi keledek is very good. Sebenarnya ubi keledek boleh bawa bekal sekolah. Mak tu, ibu tu mesti resourceful buat dia punya menu plan untuk the children, apa untuk breakfast, apa untuk bekal sekolah. So nasi goreng dengan telur, don't eat all those fast food noodle because the energy level dia kurang. Energy level daripada makanan ni kurang, and then at the same time it's more expensive than nasi goreng. Kurangkan this makanan goreng, and kurangkan fast food. So there is a soalan yang kata, kawan saya mengamalkan tabiat kurangkan mandi semasa belajar sebab dia cakap nanti ilmu itu tak melekat di otak. Betulkah? Aduh, kan kita bila nak belajar, we need to feel fresh kan. We need to feel good, Kalau badan melekek tu macam mana nak belajar? So the thing is that when you come back from school, it's very important to take your shower. You feel fresh, and then you wear something that make you comfortable. So it is important to take your shower balik dari sekolah dan juga sebelum tidur lepas petang kan, masa petang. Kalau boleh jangan mandi air sejuk lah, air suam, room temperature water, because you don't want to create the shock to your body and nanti you cepat demam. Now, another question dari penampang Sabah. Adakah apa-apa wangian atau essential oil yang boleh membantu saya fokus dan meningkatkan semangat belajar? Ni sebenarnya perlu disiplin. Perlu disiplin in the sense that you can have soft music behind you, for example, lofi, whereby you feel soothing. You just make the environment make sure that you don't feel stuffy in your room. So this is one way to also keep yourself alert, If you build a target on what subject you want to study, how much you need to study, that is already one way to keep yourself alert. Tapi always have warm water next to you, because as your brain works, it need fuel, for your blood to move, for the brain to move. So actually, how to keep yourself focused is actually important. That number one, just now I mentioned, is energy plus water plus 30 minutes sweat. Means you run and sweat, because then you remove the toxic from your body, that will create you rasa lenguh, kan, lethargic. So the sweat is important. So satu lagi soalan daripada Syarif Kinabatangan Sabah. Bagaimana untuk meningkatkan kuasa menghafal untuk formula dan fakta seperti dalam subjek fizik dan sejarah? Untuk menghafal itu sebenarnya melalui sistem. Because not everybody has a photographic memory. Photographic memory maybe less than 10%, 5% human being. Dan perlu kamu menulis balik, always practice menulis balik apa yang kamu formula tu untuk memastikan formula tu betul. Dan at the same time you mesti memahami the formula. What is this formula, dan practice formula tu. Dia mesti practice hari-hari. Mula-mula dia susah. Katakan hari ini kamu practice formula A, besok sebelum kamu start formula B, kamu practice balik formula A dan buat formula B. Hari ketiga kamu buat formula A, B, C, 3 formula. Ataupun kamu perlu menghafal formula A tu, kalau kamu rasa tak cukup ingat lagi formula A, kamu buat 2 hari. Baru start formula B hari ketiga. The first time katakan formula A may need 30 minit untuk menghafal kan. Hari kedua 20 minit. Hari ketiga akan menjadi 15 minit. So masa ingat tu, masa untuk perlu mengingat tu kurang. Sambil you menambahkan formula-formula yang lain. So satu lagi soalan, adakah pil minda yang dijual di pasaran berkesan atau hanya marketing? For example, kita akan melihat brands, chicken essence brands. Dia ada menunjukkan dia menolong minda. Sebenarnya dia energi. Macam buah kismis, dia energi, dia tenaga untuk otak kita berjalan, untuk badan kita rasa cergas kan. Kalau badan kita cergas, otak kita pun cergas juga. So itu marketing dia, tapi sebenarnya adalah penting. One of the best energy food untuk minda is telur. Kismis tu memang dalam Islam pun ada promotekan kismis kan. For example, masa you buka puasa, you makan buah buah kurma sebab dia energy. Tapi with all this energy food, you still need water. Sebab air tu dia akan menjadi pelancar, membawa nutrien-nutrien tu berjalan dalam badan dan juga circulate in your brain. Is it true that using ChatGPT, generative AI is making our brain slower? Dia bukan slower, they make you stupid. Dia kan ada tulis sana, ChatGPT can be wrong. Kalau you tak cukup ada ilmu, you don't have enough knowledge, then you cannot depend on ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is a tool macam you pakai Google for you to check on things fast, but you need to have the knowledge to verify whether it's right or wrong. It only help to speed up your work, but you must have all the background in order to be able to use ChatGPT. I think I'm a visual learner. Do I need to train myself to learn just by text or audio, since that's how most information comes in? Listening is just like it's just like reading. Reading is not equal to study, You cannot read just to study. You read to know, but it's not studying. Kalau kita nak belajar, if you think you are a visual person, actually it's a lot of people, you need to write. As you write, you will read out what you write and your eyes will see. Means you have to use your sensor, all your sensor to study. That's why we use color kan, color pen, marking. At least you have a minimum 3 color pen. Merah, biru, hitam. Then you mind map, you buat your point, the main point. You should try and summarize one chapter in your book into one page. So kalau you satu buku ada 20 chapters, you ada 20 headline of your summary for you to study, and you create the list of the keywords. Keywords of every chapter you mesti tulis. You mesti tahu all the words of each chapter, and that is how you check whether you have studied enough, whether you can remember what you study. So they say all dogs cannot learn new tricks. Is this true? Can we still learn new things as we get older? We learn until our graveyard. We may see the young people, they can run very fast, they can do things very fast, but actually the error is higher. As you grow old, you are slower because you spend more time to think and your error is less actually. So you take less time to do something compared to the young people who try to do new things because your error is lower, Yeah. Is it okay to take a nap after coming back from school? Yeah, no issue. Mandi lah dulu. Clean yourself, take proper meal. Maybe you can read your books first because it's not good to sleep with a full stomach, Then you take your power nap and then you start afresh again. Is it okay to have only few hours of sleep? No, don't cut your 8 hours sleep. So you just either you sleep at 8 o'clock in the evening or the latest you sleep at 10 o'clock, but you must have your 8 hours sleep. So you must create the habit on the time that you sleep. There is no success without discipline. It's you yourself. Kalau somebody need to still tell you, oh pergi mandi, pergi tidur, excuse me. Jangan lupa, are you elementary school or are you a young adult? Kalau young adult, you must already create your own time. Kalau mak bapak mesti tegur, oh pergi belajar lah, pergilah buat homework. I think you should need to mencermin diri sendiri. Have you grown up? The other day, the very cute example my son shared with me was that, he was looking at a pair of shoes for his wedding, So the shoe was a bit expensive. So then he was looking at the sole, the shoe, whether the shoe can tahan kena hari hujan ke semua. You know what the man told him? An old man told him, if a man or a guy doesn't know how to take care of his shoes, means he has not grown up. A good shoe can last you 20 years. Yeah. Kalau your shoe cepat rosak, means you didn't take care of your shoes, you're still not mature. How do I motivate myself when I don't feel like studying? You need to have a objective in life. You must have an ambition. It's not about how smart you are, It's the ambition that drives you towards that target. No matter how smart you are, but you don't have an ambition, you will not go far in life. So it doesn't matter what is your ambition. You see, I used to tell my son, you can be a garbage collector. Okay, but make sure you recycle all those garbage, because recycling the garbage, as you collect the garbage, will make you a millionaire. You must have an ambition because that will decide the direction and that will give you the target on how you want to study. And that will also at the same time motivate you to explore how you want to achieve your target. Okay? How much exercise or physical activity do I need in a week? Minimum 3 times a week. So if possible, if you can run 30 minutes a day to sweat out the toxic in the body so that you don't feel lethargic, is very good. It's the best that is required. What should I have for breakfast before I go to school? Breakfast, the meaning is already break the fast. The whole night you didn't eat and you need energy to study. So when you need energy to study, means you must have enough protein to fuel your brain. You must have enough carbohydrate to fuel your body energy, or else you will not be able to study. For example, like I mentioned earlier, you can have nasi goreng, you can have half-boiled egg, soft-boiled egg, omelette, you can have telur mata lembu, is it? Or there's another one, poached egg. Then you can also have ubi keledek. Then you must have pisang ke, whatever fruit lah. Kan Malaysia ni kan banyak jenis buah. The fruits are very important. You see, one thing I notice all over the world, especially like Korea, Japan, Europe, America, breakfast eggs. University students, when they go for field work, there's always given eggs, 2 eggs, so that you don't go hungry, and also for the brain. And they are very good in exercise. All students must do outdoor exercise. And then in terms of study method, you can make your own flashcard. When I was young, I couldn't afford a reference book. From Form 1, I bought myself an A4 size notebook. I wrote a question to everything on the textbook for science, geography, and history. Make the question, prepare the answer. Make the question. Then I will ask the question myself, and then check, and then try and answer and check my answer. I remembered there was also, I had one researcher, she told me, she also did the same. She made her own questions on small piece of paper and questioned herself. So we have to be resourceful. Yang penting, get the result out. How you do, you have to think, have to plan. Tapi like I said lah, you need to have that nutrient level and drink lots of warm water. I think the parents, everything starts from home lah. Itu nama dia bimbingan ibu bapa. Anak tu lahir. If you read the Quran, you read the Bible, it never said that all the children were born different. They were all born the same. It's the environment that is different, whereby you have to make sure that you create the discipline from home, from young, for them to be respectful, for them to be responsible, and then as a parent, you make sure they are fed well, that you train them on the schedule of their sleep and their eating habits, so that when they go to school, easier for the teachers to educate them on the subject. Nowadays kan ibu bapa dia malas. Kalau suruh budak diam, dia bagi handphone. But bagi handphone tu is like drugs, You know the most recent case, 3 kids, they commit suicide when the parents took the handphone. Actually, in the Silicon Valley, parents make sure the children don't touch the handphone at all. So people complain about the X, Y, Z generation. To me, it's more like lazy parenting lah. Budak dia lahir, dia macam kain putih. It's how the parents draw on the kain putih. Because you can spend time with your kid. Okay, let's make cookies together. So sambil you make the cookies, from when they are only 5-6 years old. That's where you also talk to them values, clean the place, clean everything after you use. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and I hope this sharing of mine will help you all to see what it is, because all of us have blind spot. We may not realize the things, so I hope that this sharing can help you to move forward. Yeah, thank you very much.